Welcome back, Pure Spirits, to another episode of the PureSpiritsOnly podcast. This is episode 4. Today, we will be talking about how to survive gaslighting. If you are not a pure spirit, you can feel free to keep scrolling because I'm not talking to you. There are people surviving spiritual warfare every day. And this podcast is for the ones who want to win and are winning, the pure spirits. Now that all the pure spirits are here in the room, let's get into it. So first things first, I'm going to explain what gaslighting is in case some of you aren't aware, right? Gaslighting is manipulation using psychological methods to make someone question their own sanity or powers of reasoning. Right? That's the Oxford Dictionary definition. So, you ever gotten into an argument with someone and they act like you took what they said out of context, even though what they said is exactly how it said it and can only be seen in one way? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. So basically trying to make you question your perception of how things were said to you or done to you is their goal. And it's their goal because if they don't do that, it puts them in the wrong where they would have to be accountable for what they've done to you. That is gaslighting. It is the complete opposite of accountability. Instead of taking ownership, these people will find a way to flip everything back on you. Like you saw it wrong and you escalated everything to where it went wrong. I'm telling you, pure spirits, this is how people with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, or just narcissistic traits get away with it. You have to be extremely confident in your perception in order to survive gaslighting. That is the first step. And when I say extremely, I mean if you know without anybody else's approval or validation that what was said to you or done to you could be taken 2 ways, that's okay for you to know. But the narcissist is betting on that. They are hoping you can be able to see it from 2 perspectives, because when you do that, it makes it easier to confuse. Right? But we're going to get deep into it. Okay? Okay? And as y'all know, the pure spirits that already know me, y'all know I don't play. Anytime I speak on something, it's because I know what I'm talking about. All right? And I've been through it. So now, after you understand that first part, here's the second part. Right? Did you have malicious intent when you were doing whatever you were doing? If the answer is no, then that first rule about seeing things from both sides no longer qualifies. Because the 2 sides only exist when one of those sides could have been malicious. But if you didn't have bad intent, it goes out the window. Period. You were not malicious, okay? Which brings me to step 3. Now you examine their intent, okay? I'm very big on checking myself before I check others, right? That's why the first 2 steps are about checking you and seeing if you did anything wrong, right? But once you're clear that your heart was pure, now you can focus back on them. And 9 times out of 10, when they responded to you by purposely misunderstanding you, their intent was not good. Okay? Once you go through these steps and come to the conclusion that this person was being malicious, it becomes clear. Because when someone responds to you with empathy, there's no need for escalation, right? When someone genuinely doesn't have bad intentions towards you, even if they misunderstand, there's not going to be anger, guilt tripping, or none of that. You get what I'm saying? So now it's on them. Once you accept that their actions alone showed malicious intent, it becomes very difficult for them to continue gaslighting you because you've seen the truth. And now to step 4. When you do have that conversation with them, they're going to try to gaslight you again and act like your perception is incorrect. This is where you stand on business about your boundaries and what you did and did not do. Do not let them change the scenario. Keep it on topic with what you are talking about. Do not let them bring things outside of the experience to justify why they saw it differently. This has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. We're talking about A, B, and C, not the whole alphabet. Then we move to step 5. They either accept it or they don't. If they start crying or making themselves the victim, withdraw contact completely. Don't speak with them again unless they're capable of accountability. If there's someone you have to be around, do absolute minimal talking. And that is how you survive gaslighting. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you a real life scenario that happened to me, and also a scenario that I saw on reality TV. And I literally did all of these steps to survive the gaslighting I experienced because no narcissistic person, aka a demon, yes, to me, narcissistic traits are demonic traits, is going to gaslight me out of the discernment that the good Lord, the Most High Jah, Jesus Father, has given me. Okay? If the Lord told me you were trying to provoke me, then that's exactly what you were doing. And if I'm convicted by God, on the other hand, and he tells me I'm wrong, then I would be the one showing narcissistic traits if I did not hold myself accountable. Period. We're going to be fair all across the board. Right? So let's get into the TV scenario first. So I was hanging out with my mom, my bestie, and I was watching a clip of The Real Housewives of Atlanta with her, right? It was a scene I walked in on where Portia was out by the pool talking to some of her friends, and one of the other ladies who they thought was sleeping overheard her saying that she was going to go F that lady's husband, the one who heard her. Now, forgive me for not knowing her name. I'm so sorry, guys. But imagine you're on a trip with someone who's trying to be nice to you and you overhear them saying they're going to bleep your spouse. So the next day, when the woman had an attitude, rightfully so, and she brought it up, Portia tried to play it off like we were all drinking and maybe you heard wrong, that kind of thing. Like that's not what she said. She tried to downplay it. That's gaslighting. And the woman, which I respect so much, refused to be gaslit. And if I'm not mistaken, she still has Portia at arm's length, as she should. Okay? Portia tried to make her question what she heard, not because it wasn't true, but because it didn't serve her agenda anymore. That's what gaslighting looks like. They will try to make you question the reality you both know happened, or you all know happened, right? Now let's talk about a real scenario in my life. I was doing a family gathering and someone offered to help with certain things. I let them know we already had it covered. Because I think they're used to doing that one part of the event, they got deeply offended. Then later, a tone started rising when they questioned me again about the same thing, like I hadn't already given the answer. So a tone was returned. And then suddenly I was the one with an attitude and they got off the phone like I did something to them. And I didn't care. Because like I said, if I'm teaching you how to survive gaslighting, it's because I've been through it. Nobody is going to make me question the reality that we both know happened. You're not going to be a revisionist historian. You're not going to rewrite what I saw with my eyes, heard with my ears, felt with my heart, and was discerned by the Lord in my spirit. Nobody has that power outside of myself. And the same goes for you, pure spirits. And the thing is, I'm big on not lying to myself, like at all. You're not going to make me lie to myself just because that's what you do, right? And this is what gaslighters do, because they can lie to themselves about their entire life and what happened and what didn't happen. They think they can do that to people like us, pure spirits. And it doesn't work like that, because most of us are genuinely honest people and we like to go through life just being real with ourselves. You know what I mean? And when you have that backbone to be real with yourself, you have to have the confidence to believe your perception no matter what, because these are the people that you will run into, right? So when we saw each other again, it was nothing but reservation from me. I withdrew because there was never accountability, right? No apology. And then the people around us who didn't want to get involved picked whatever side they thought was safe, which going against me is never the safe side. But I'm not afraid to get into it with anyone, especially a group. I don't care. 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 3 monkey, don't stop no show up in here. Okay? And that's the thing. When people start jumping in talking about, oh, maybe you tripping. No, I'm not though. How I look at it is they're also weak. They've already been gaslit by this person. And now it's a group effort to convince me to see what I didn't see? No. And that's why I said, once you go through those 5 steps and still don't feel like you did anything to deserve how they're flipping the story, you already know what to do. I don't give a darn if it's 1,000 people. It could be everybody on Twitter, everybody on TikTok. You have to stand for something or you're going to fall for anything, okay? I'm never going to agree with a bunch of people because they were gaslit by someone who I know was a liar. That means they're too weak to acknowledge what really happened because they're just looking for peace. I'm looking for respect. It's a difference. And whether I have to remove myself or be around you determines how you respect me. And if you're not accountable, you don't respect me. And you're trying to make me go into the facade that you already have set for your life. And I don't move like that. And neither do the pure spirits. And, I make these videos because I used to be in situations where I didn't understand what gaslighting was. I really used to question myself, like, maybe I am bugging, because I used to be hot-headed. But I was always God-fearing. I was always logical and empathic, and I was always trying to see where people were coming from, right? And because I let people gaslight me into thinking I was the problem, it led me down a road where I had to learn the hard way. They were playing with my kindness, and that's what they're doing to you, pure spirits. And I'm making this video so that the pure spirits can wisen up and protect themselves. You're not bugging. You are being gaslit. What happened and what they're saying happened are 2 different things. What you saw, that happened. What they're doing, that's them trying to save their ass. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Again, this video is for a select few. Not everyone is going to understand it, and that's okay. That's why these are only for the pure spirits. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. I love you guys, and I wish you all the very best. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so your girl can keep making content and keep making things bigger and better for this brand. I got big plans for what I want to do for us in the future, and I just know that y'all are definitely going to benefit from all of the results. What I'm giving y'all is solid gold. It ain't no gold spray over shit. You get what I'm saying? I ain't spray painting shit and dipping shit in gold and give it to y'all. It's real. It's the kind of truth people in your life will never tell you. And they don't want you to know because they do not want to respect you, and they don't want you to be powerful. They want you to think that being God-fearing is being passive and letting everyone walk all over you. They want you to think that being kind means that they get to disrespect your boundaries and that you're easy to manipulate. Okay, and I pray that God lets this message land in the hands of those who need it. And that you stumble onto this page and become a part of the Pure Spirit family so I can help you navigate this journey and finally get to a place in life where you are at peace, where you have boundaries, where you're loving yourself, where you're confident, where you're healing, where you're no longer dealing with fake friends, fake family, and fake love, and you're not bitter. You're happy. That's how I live my life. And I was doing this 10 years ago. And that's when I let people get into my head. And I want that for you guys. I don't want you guys to have that period where you have to learn the hard way and look back and be like, man, you know? Because when you can look in the mirror and feel proud of standing up for yourself without anyone else needing to do it for you, that's power. That's the whole point of this channel, for you to do it for you. And I say this all from love and not judgment because, again, I've been on the other side. I've made the mistakes and I had to learn the hard way. So please take heed to everything I'm saying. I pray that God blesses those who are meant to hear this message, to receive it, and those who will abuse it. I pray they don't even understand it in Jesus' name. If this is hitting your spirit, it's because God is pulling you out of deception. Stay close or keep being played. God bless you guys. Thank you again for tuning in to episode 4. Stay tuned for episode 5. I got some gems coming and I will be dropping more videos in the meantime. Again, Pure Spirits, I know I've been a little off lately, but I am pregnant and this pregnancy has been very different from my first. But I'm going to try my very best with everything else I have going on to keep making this a priority because you all are important to me. I do this because of my love for God and my love for helping my brothers and sisters, his children, not get taken advantage of by the enemy. And a lot of the enemy's devices after spirituality is psychological. All warfare starts in the mind. And I'm here to help you fight spiritual warfare in the spirit and in the flesh with truth. Thank you again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your life coach, Diamond, signing out. Ciao, my babies.